What's up, everybody? What's going on? What's going on? And welcome to another exciting episode and the last episode of the year 2020. This is the HOGside. I am your host, CJ the Hog, and this is the DMV champ, Brian. Brian, how are you today, man?
I'm good, sir. I'm good. Hold on, we got one more episode though.
Yeah, but this is the last episode of this year.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's the last
gotcha.
episode of this year. 2020 ends this weekend, and I hope everybody has some resolutions for 2021. But this is the Hog Side is brought to you by Pigskin Nut Media, and this is the podcast for the Washington football team. And Pigskin Nut Media is your gateway to unlimited football content. We do have a lot to discuss today. There's
Yes,
been a
we
lot going
do.
on. There's been a lot going on with the Washington football team in Washington Park, and we have a very special guest for you guys today. And we're just gonna bring him on today. He's gonna be hanging out with us for this whole show today. He is the incredible. He's the incredible draft guy, Jimmy. Me and Jimmy met, on Twitter, and we pretty much hit it off. And now, he's very good when it comes to finding these hidden gems with these draft prospects. So we're gonna bring him on, Jimmy.
Hey guys, what's up?
Jimmy.
How you
All
doing,
right, all
CJ?
right.
Thanks for having me, bud.
Thank you for wanting to be on here, man. This is it's a big honor. Glad to have you on, and you ready to talk football? Like you ready to talk football?
I'm always ready to talk football, man. I mean, especially when it's the Washington football team. But what we got going on today, man?
We got a lot going on today, actually.
All right.
You're a Washington fan, obviously. How long have you been a fan?
Well, I guess to put things into perspective, like I can remember the day that Theismann went down. So that's how, first of all, how old I am, and and how long I've been a fan. I mean, I totally remember like our glory years, winning Super Bowls. I mean, those are some great times. I mean, obviously we haven't been there in a while, but I mean, hey, you got to stick with them. I mean, I'm just kind of a faithful man. I mean, I don't want to, go with the bandwagon, man. Like they've been my team since I could speak. So that's just kind of how it goes.
That's perfect. That's perfect. I've been a fan pretty much all my life. I started loving the team when I was around 5 or 6 years old. Went to my actual first game. It was very cold against the Buccaneers in RFK Stadium. Yeah, I said that.
Nice.
The RFK Stadium. So
RFK, nice.
I'm a little up there. But listen. Again, we're gonna get started because there's a lot to talk about today.
Yes, it is.
Weekly updates. Weekly updates. Alex Smith did not practice today, as expected. Taylor Heineke was taking most of the first team reps today. Antonio Gibson has missed practice today with a toe injury that was suffered in Week 14 against the Steelers. Practice reports from the next 2 days should give us a better indication of his potential status against the Philadelphia Eagles at 8:20 on Sunday. Terry McLaurin, he missed practice today again with a high ankle sprain. He
Hmm.
must be listed as limited by Friday for a good chance of playing in Sunday's division matchup.
Hmm.
Um, and Chase Young makes Defensive Player of the Week after such a impressive performance against the Panthers. Um, and Taylor Heineke looks to be the possible starter for Sunday. So, guys, looking at how things are turning in for Alex Smith, what do you what do you guys pretty much feel? Do you think me personally? You guys know how I feel. I think Alex Smith should sit out for the rest of the season and just let Taylor Heineke or Steven Montez continue on.
What do
How
you
to?
go for it, Brian?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I agree with you. You know how I feel about Alex. I think he needs to hang the cleats up. The story has been amazing. It's time to move on. And right now we need somebody that we need stability at quarterback. We need someone that's dependable, and you're not gonna be able to depend on him next year or trying to bring him back and just be a waste of time. Cut your ties with him, let him hang his cleats up. It's Montez and Heineke time. That's all I'm gonna say. We gotta wait till next year before we can get things kicked off the proper way.
Heineke time. We could have probably, market that and, pick a couple gold ones. That'd be kind of sweet.
Man, what?
Yeah, dude. Why not? No, I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like, Heineke, he was actually out of the league. Actually trying to, I think he was trying to get like his, go back to school and get his degree and ended up getting that call to come play for us. I mean, he had been out of football for a while. I mean, and really, I mean, he started a little bit for Rivera for I guess a few games. When he was on the Panthers. I mean, I think that's probably our best option going forward. They're obviously not as sold on Montez yet. I mean, he's been on our practice squad all year. So I don't know. I mean, if he has, developed enough, I mean, hopefully, you want to give him that opportunity. But I don't know. I mean, Heineke's the guy who's the veteran here. So, I mean, you got to, hand it to him. I mean, and as far as Alex Smith, I mean, I think every single one of us loved his story. I mean, that first snap that he was out there, I mean, I was seriously like praying and cringing and hoping that he didn't get injured. And I think all the fans just love his story and they want him out there, but then again, they don't want him out there because we really don't want to see like, any more injuries happen to him. So, yeah, I mean, for whatever happens, I mean, best of luck to him because he's just been an awesome guy for the football team.
Yep. Keep
Yeah,
it moving.
I definitely agree. I definitely agree. Like you said, his story is amazing. It's a story that will be talked about for years. With such a bad injury where everybody just thought that that was just the end of his career, and for him to be able to come back and turn the season around for what it has been 4 games, 4 wins in a row. Since he's been starter. Listen, I'm all for it. And but I think now this is the time to possibly thinking about hanging up the cleats and just retiring next season. Even if you think that you still have another year left in you, just take it from Brett Favre. Brett Favre. He tried to go as long as he can, and with that ankle injury that he suffered, he just thought that it was best to hang up the cleats. So I think that should be Alex Smith's decision. But if he does decide to play next year, we can only do but so much but to support him. So that's just that's how I look at it. That's how we look at it, and I just wish Alex Smith the best of luck for whatever decision that he
Yes,
chooses.
sir.
Yeah, I mean,
But top of the hour, we're gonna talk about it. Dwayne Haskins. Dwayne Haskins has been released this week after breaking the COVID violations for the second time this season. Not Alex. Dwayne Haskins has been released. Released the waivers. I mean, you guys have been hearing it all, on social media. You heard it from, NFL critics, sports critics, and things like that about how they felt about it. But as fans, we look at this and it's one of those things where um, we want so much out of the kid, but he has to put it out. He has to put it out on the field. And this is the way I feel, is that you had you had the you had the front stage. You had the front stage. Ron Rivera gave you that chance to rewrite the narrative, everything that has been talked about prior to week 16. This was your chance to write it off, and you didn't do that. And you showed a poor example of how you should act on the field, even if you are doing bad. And it was just best for both parties to part ways. So, Jimmy, what was your thoughts when you woke up that morning, and seeing that he has been released?
Well, I mean, to be quite honest with you, like I thought it would have actually happened like before the game, honestly, because I mean, you go out there and just exercise poor judgment. I mean, whether it's allowing someone to catch you on camera or actually going out and just kind of doing some things that are questionable. I mean, hey, if a guy wants to have a little bit of fun, I mean, I'm not going to knock him for it, but I mean, just uh, don't bring that stuff into the team. I mean, keep that stuff private. That's all well and good, but he just really didn't exercise just that whole idea of being captain, and that's the reason why it was stripped from him. I mean, because I mean, when you are team captain, when you are part of this franchise, I mean, let's just face it. I mean, you were the quarterback of a professional team. I mean, you need to behave like top. I mean, and unfortunately, I mean, you were in the eye of like everybody. I mean, the press follows you around. I mean, it's gonna happen. I mean, you need to watch your back. I mean, I'm sorry that everyone's held to a high standard, but I mean, unfortunately, that's kind of how it goes, man. That's the reason why, like, when you want to do those things, you need to keep them private. But no, I mean, with that, you know, pressed up against, just kind of along with the whole fact that he hasn't been really just performing to what we want him to be. I mean, he was a first round draft pick. I mean, he was a Heisman finalist. Like we brought him in here with such high expectations, and really he just hasn't been able to deliver. So, I mean, with Rivera taking over the team and having Haskins, I mean, he has no attachment to Haskins. He wasn't the one who drafted him. So I mean, hopefully next go around this upcoming draft season, he'll have the opportunity to do just that. So I mean, we'll see what he does with it because I feel like that's going to be our next step. So, but yeah, Haskins. I mean, good luck moving forward, buddy. I mean, we're here to get to the playoffs, and you just weren't helping us. Sorry.
Champ, I know we had our words last week. When the picture on social media went out.
Yeah.
What was your thoughts when you seen the breaking news of Haskins being released?
That's like that. I've been vouching for the dude and everything. I've been vouching for him, and I'm the dude that wants to see guys succeed. And it just like minus last year with Jay Gruden and them, he was set up from the failure by getting drafted to a team that never wanted him. And it's also remember I was also speaking about, and Jim, you can probably also relate this to a real outside job, work related. It's like you ever been working around the guy that you've been working in the trenches with. You guys been working good together, and he gets that promotion, and then you just start to notice he just get comfortable and cocky with it, and then you just look at him, you like, dude, you don't even look motivated no more.
Mm.
Remember, I kept saying like that's exactly how Dwayne probably took it. He was like, man, look, I got drafted in the first round. You know, I'm getting paid. I'm a captain. Woo woo woo. Because everybody's seen the kid put in the work during the whole off season, during the pandemic. He was grinding it out, and I'm respecting him so hard for that. And it's like, turn to find out everything was just, excuse my language, just everything has been half-assed. So it's like, how can you defend somebody like that? He got comfortable. And once again, people need to learn to understand it's a kid's game. Everybody wants to play in the league, and when you get that opportunity, you gotta take advantage of it. I'm just disappointed because, like I rarely keeps it realistic as much as possible. I had a gut feeling we was going to beat Carolina. We wouldn't have to be worried about this position that we're in right now. And then the whole time we in this position, and the kid didn't even show up, man. He's not ready for it. This is not for him right now.
See, I feel like if we
Um,
had actually cut Haskins like before like that game, like we might have actually won that game. I mean, that's kind of how I
yeah.
feel about it. I mean, he put in Haskins almost like to test him, and I don't know how I feel about that. Like, you want to give a guy a second chance. I mean, I'm all about giving guys second chances. I mean, everybody makes mistakes. It is what it is. That's kind of been my saying, but I mean, you know, I just think that we brought him in to fail. I mean, why did we even bring him in? I mean, when we
I
knew
mean,
that putting him out there wasn't going to, change the outcome.
Well,
once again, this comes to a lesson that needs to be learned. Once again, me and you talked about this, Jimmy, from the top of the organization.
Mm-hmm.
Snyder needs to stay the hell out the draft room on draft days. Like
Lord, we
somebody
hope
needs to
so.
stand in front of the door. They be like, "Yeah, you can go ahead, fire me, whatever, but you're not allowed in this room right now."
so
He has to stay in his lane on that decision.
this is how I see it. And I agree with you guys 100%. He was brought in, and the coaches last year just wasn't really 100% sold on this kid. And um as a young guy being drafted, and you know that you have high expectations, being a top 5 pick in the NFL. There's a lot of expectations. There's a mountain of expectations that you have to fulfill. But with the changes to the coaches and the front office staff this year, you got Ron Rivera in your corner. Ron Rivera is very respected as a head coach and as a player. So you have Ron Rivera here, as your head coach. And even in the beginning, Ron Rivera was like, "Hey, I don't care what anybody has to say. You're my guy. I want to make you captain, but it is your job to lose. This is your job to lose."
No, that's
And
correct.
and throughout the season, there's been some things, with the Browns game. After the Browns game, he was gloating about his stats, after the loss, devastating loss. And then, after that, I think it was a week or two after that, he had a COVID violation. And then, turning it back around, there's a video that was surfaced. I guess it was like during training camp or whatever. Thomas Davis, went to him and said, "Hey, you missed a read or two. Just next time, don't sit there and look and stare the receiver down." And he instead of Dwayne Haskins saying, "Okay, cool," Dwayne Haskins was like, "Oh no, I got this. You don't have to come over here, and let me know that." And Thomas Davis said, "All right. So next time, I'm just going to sit there and I'm going to pick you off, and then we're going to see whether if I'm right or wrong." And Dwayne said, "What if I am wrong?" He said, "What if you are wrong?" And then Thomas Davis said, "Well, I know I'm not going to be wrong, but okay, we'll see." It's just Michael Strahan said it best last week, and this is the NFL. They don't have time to babysit guys. They don't have time to babysit nobody. You are a grown man. So when you come in the NFL, you have to look out for you. You have to look out for your best interests. You can't rely on Ron Rivera to bail you out. You can't rely on that. This is a brutal game. The NFL is a brutal business. Once they get
Yep.
tired of you, you will be an afterthought. We've seen that
See, it
happen to
wouldn't be so
multiple.
bad as well if he was performing. A lot of this stuff would have been brushed under the rug, especially if we were
Oh
winning.
yeah.
Or if like if he would have came out there and balled out last weekend against Carolina, we wouldn't have even been talking about that. We'd be like, all right, we're in the playoffs now. Should we rest some of our guys? Like we would have been carrying it in that situation. But by
Mhm.
him to come out there and stink it up, yeah, that just putting the icing on the cake. And like I
So
told you, that COVID-19 thing and him and Ron was serious. I was just like, man, like, go ahead and cut him. Like you heard what I said. I was like, if they cut him, I wouldn't feel bad. You have the right to cut him.
right,
It just
and so while we're talking about this, Rivera's late decision cost the game. Even if they didn't cut Haskins before the game, at halftime, once you felt like he just wasn't it, you don't put him out there as a test to see if he can bounce back. This is not the time to run that test and see if he can bounce back. You play the next guy who possibly can and see if that guy can do it. And then if that guy can't do it, it's the reason why you had Steven Montez activated on the roster as well, to see if he can do it. You don't run the test when you got two other quarterbacks on the depth chart and say, "Oh, let's just see what happens." So to
I
be
agree with
honest,
you on that. But
Yeah.
that's
because
his team. That's his
yeah,
team.
that is his team, and that decision is what he has to live with. I just feel as though if Taylor Heineke had more time, even if he didn't play him after halftime, if he would have played him in the beginning of the fourth quarter, I think Taylor Heineke would have had more time and not have to make the forced passes that he did make when he first came in. Because as you see, after he made those first couple of passes, he's starting to get a little bit more comfortable in the rotation of the game and things like that.
I
I
just feel
just
like the
feel
referees also screwed us that game too, dude. So
right, but in this game, the referees is always going to screw. After this season, we've seen it throughout the whole NFL. The referees will screw you out of a game. So this is why, making the decision, with Ron Rivera making the decision to bench him with 8 minutes left in the game, I don't think it was a good decision.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, I mean, again, I mean, Haskins, I don't even know what his stat line was, but I mean, it was awful. I mean, you're talking about probably something like 30% completion or something like really
Yeah, he was
just
he was 14 for
awful. I
yeah.
mean, it just wasn't, acceptable at all. And I mean, how can you not figure that out like before halftime? I mean, you could go out there, obviously, second half. I mean, we've seen a lot of second half like, comebacks. I mean, I don't know, man. I just think maybe he was just, just giving him all these chances. I mean, and maybe it was just too many. I mean, sometimes you just have to know when to cut it and move on. So obviously they eventually did that, but I mean, it is what it is. So
Yeah. So again, like you said, why did he give him so many chances? And I think that because, like we all said, in the beginning, Ron Rivera wanted Haskins to be his guy. He wanted him to be his guy. Not saying that he is my guy. He want him to be his guy. Meaning you have to show me that you are the guy. And the reason why I'm having so much issues with with his the way he has been behaving and his performance is, it's not like you're alone here. You have two of your Ohio State brothers on the same team as you. You got Terry McLaurin and Chase Young. You see how they became captain. They became captain, and now, there's you. You're not the captain anymore. So I guess, that might have rubbed them the wrong way or whatever. But listen, that captain status was only for you to lose. And you lost it. And he awarded somebody else that was very much well deserving. And when they gave Chase Young that captain on his jersey, he put it on the field. He put it on the field. And that's just the name of the game. Like I said, this NFL game will forget you just like that. We've seen it
man,
happen
what?
with we've seen it happen with plenty of quarterbacks. We've seen it happen with Matt Leinart. Forgotten. Just
yeah,
like that.
NFL stands for not for long is what it stands for. So
Exactly.
I,
Not
I,
for
I
long.
totally I totally get
Yep.
So I mean,
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
I wish Haskins the best of luck for wherever he goes.
So I mean,
And
you think
later
you
on,
think you think Hassan's gonna get a job somewhere? Like you think
Yeah.
that that's a possibility? I mean, what do you guys
Yeah.
I mean, we've
Honestly, I
we've
think
we've,
he will
we've
get a job. He still has talent. He has physical talent. Will he
think?
come on and be a starter or a backup? No. He'll probably be a third string quarterback. And they're gonna probably also tell him, hey, work your way up, have you in our system. I mean, the kid got the tools. He got the physical tools. He just don't have
here's
it up here. It's just up
here's
in
two
here and here.
scenarios
It's
I have.
missing.
Here's two scenarios that I have. First scenario: he doesn't come back to the NFL. He goes to the XFL. Blossoms,
Boom.
It's
blossoms,
possibility. Okay.
Boom.
blossoms. He shows that he can still do. He can still be a quarterback, and he gets signed again. He gets signed again by whatever team is there.
I want him to go to
That's
Pittsburgh.
that's scenario one. Scenario two: he goes somewhere where a coach can actually see where he belongs on the field as a
Mike
quarterback.
Tomlin. Mike
Yeah.
Tomlin.
He can go to
Think
Pittsburgh.
about it. Think about
If
it. Mike has
if
dealt with all the divas and put them in check.
if Bill Belichick if Bill Belichick don't retire this year, he can go to the Patriots.
Why would you think Bill retiring?
Well,
Well,
listen, it's coming to that
anything's
time.
possible.
Yeah, anything is possible, but
I
him
don't see
being
that happening.
him being in the Patriots can be an actual good move. Him going to the Saints could be a good move. I just think that he needs to go somewhere where a coach can instill discipline.
Yeah, I mean, he obviously lacks maturity and really just needs. First of all, this is just his wake up call. I mean, obviously, this is his wake up call. I mean, you lose your job. I mean, that's your wake up call. Go ahead and try and fix yourself. If you need a year, I mean, whatever it takes. I mean, I do think that he does have the arm talent, like you were saying, Brian. I mean, I feel like he does have that. I mean, really, I mean, even if he was on a practice squad, I mean, bring him in, for a practice squad. Allow him to earn his job. Don't just give it to him like it was handed to him when he was first drafted. You know, allow him to earn it. Allow him to grow, and then hopefully, for whatever team picks him up, I mean, he might have the opportunity. But I don't know, man. Like if he doesn't turn things around, help to
Mm-hmm.
restore his image, maybe his career is over.
I
So
mean, he got full guaranteed money out of his rookie deal, so I hope he spent it wisely. That's all I can tell the brother. Wish him the best.
yeah, let's just hope he didn't put it all in that stripper's G-string. So that's what we all. I mean, really, hopefully he saved up something for a rainy day, man. Because
No, I think he did. He's a smart kid.
well,
So,
hopefully, man.
why are we talking about the possibilities of this, whether or not our season will end Sunday, or will it continue on, into the playoffs? Possible GMs for next year. Um,
Ooh.
uh, we've heard that the Washington football team is looking at Rick Smith, the former GM for the Texans, to possibly being the GM. Another possibility saying that the Panthers' former GM can move along in here. And it's like, listen, here's how I feel is that if you're a general manager and you got fired, there's no sense of you being hired by us. There's a reason why you got fired. I believe that you should take a year or two, to figure out what you've done wrong. And then maybe in the next year, maybe you can get hired as a GM again. But I just think that right now we need to shy away from Carolina for a little bit, and
Who's a GM that you want?
right now I'm looking at the Bills GM. The Bills GM is coming at the end of his contract, and I'm not sure if they're going to rehire him as with an extension. But I think
That'd be
there's
stupid if they let him walk out that building. They'll be
yeah, but
stupid.
Ron Rivera and the GM of the Bills, they used to work together with the Panthers, and there's
Hmm.
some relationship there.
Okay.
That's the reason why Sean McDermott is there. So
Yeah, I mean that would be my first choice. I mean, obviously the Bills are doing excellent this year. I mean, they've really put together a solid football team. From top to bottom. I mean, uh, they were the ones who took the chance. On Allen for their quarterback, and he's
mhm.
really just blossomed into probably
Man,
probably
what?
one of the top
The
five.
past 2 seasons.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
just saying probably one of the top five quarterbacks right now, in the league. And man, I mean, taking a chance on a guy like that, putting together a solid roster. I mean, having a great defense. I mean, goodness, I would love to have a guy like that coming to this team. I mean, they've just built it right, man, and hopefully we can do the same.
So, do you think that it would be wise to promote Cal Smith
Yes,
as
yes,
general
yes,
manager?
yes, and yes.
Because
Even
he's
I would
he's
take him or Lewis Reddick. Those the only two. I just don't think the Bills is going to let their GM go. I just have
Yeah,
this weird feeling that'd be dumb.
we would have to
yeah,
pay. We would have
and
to fork out a lot of money for that. I mean,
Thank you,
so, I mean,
yeah,
thank
I
but
don't
you.
know. It doesn't go against our cap. I don't know. I mean, we
Yeah, it
know
doesn't.
True, it don't.
Yeah, it
we
doesn't.
know
You
that
know, and
our owner is willing to fork out tons of money. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. So
so
anyway,
we've heard a little bit of Cal Smith about Cal Smith this season, and but Ron Rivera really respects Cal Smith, because Cal Smith and that front office has brought in some guys on this practice squad and on this just roster in general. They brought in some guys who, is not just here just to sit on the roster. These are guys who, comes in and is ready to play in a game, at tough circumstances. Even Michael Kendricks. Michael Kendricks had a couple of big plays in the Carolina game, this to prevent them from, scoring a touchdown so easily. So, it's just that is what you have to look at when you have guys like Cal Smith and that front office to bring the guys in necessary. And if they do choose to promote Cal Smith, I won't be mad at it. So
That's the smartest thing to do, bro. Honestly.
yeah, I mean, probably the easiest thing. I mean, but I mean, I would rather they try their best and shoot for the moon. I mean, we have an owner with deep pockets. I mean, see who we can get. I mean, if Smith is the best that we can get, then fine, promote him. I'm all for it. But yeah, I mean, if there's another guy out there, I mean, we need to go get him. I mean, because I mean, we're really in need of building some depth on the roster. Really all along the team. So I mean, really, we only have maybe one position group that is like elite, and that's our defensive line. Other than that, like each and every position that we have, we really have needs, whether they be a little bit or like a huge like gaping hole like quarterback. So, yeah, we need to go out and get the best GM possible, whoever that is.
yeah,
I
I
agree.
agree. I definitely agree. So let me ask you guys this. This game against the Carolina, I know that things didn't go well. Again, we had another slow start offensively. Um, do you think now, next year, do you think that Washington should shy away from Scott Turner? Is this too early to look for another offensive coordinator, or do you think that we should at least try to give Scott Turner another chance?
I say we give him another chance, and the only reason why I say that is because this is the first go around. I mean, this is the first year with it, and I mean, even bringing in some of the guys that he did, I mean, they're trying to look, man. When you come into a team, I mean, you can't try and make it work like your way all the time. I mean, you have to work with what you have. I mean, you can't try and fit like a square peg into a round hole. I mean, it just doesn't work. I mean, and I mean, you bring in guys, and try and create maybe more just a simplistic system. When you first get into a team, and then hopefully as things progress, I mean, you are building your team. So I mean, you're trying to build it from the inside out. I mean, we've got a solid D line. I mean, we really need to work on that offensive line. And hopefully, we'll be able to do that in the off season, and then just go from there. I mean, we obviously have a caliber defense, and I'll stand on the table for that. I mean, our defense is top notch. We just need to get that offense rolling. Hopefully,
Thank God, yes.
hopefully, if the offense can get going, we can do something. I mean, if we had a healthy Gibson to give the ball to out of the backfield, I mean, just run, just kind of just create that kind of old school mentality, just you know working the clock, and just kind of getting your way down the field and scoring. I mean, I'd rather do that than this dink and dunk kind of game that we have these days. I mean, you figure McKissick has had how many receptions? I mean,
I've
that's
been
all.
telling this man.
I'm just saying that's all well and good. I mean, as long as you can get down the field and score, that's great. But I mean, eventually somebody's going to take over on that end, and one of these wide receivers is going to have to step up. I mean,
Yeah,
hopefully with Gandy Golden coming back, I mean, he'll be able to be a part of the offense. He really hasn't been yet. So I mean,
He
hopefully we
dropped
get
three
him out there.
passes.
Well, I mean, he's been out. He's been
Yeah.
injured. So I mean, he hasn't been part of like everything. So he really needs to step up, and he really needs to start making some plays. I mean, when Logan Thomas is having like this awesome game of like a dozen receptions, I mean, again, that's all well and good for him in building up his stats. But I mean, we need to score. I mean, that's what it's all about. Is just winning the ball game. However you can win the ball game, you win the ball game. So, and with what we have on our roster right now, I mean, we've got one wide receiver that we know we can count on, and we got to get him the ball. And if we can't get him the ball, then we are out of luck.
I
So,
like Cam Sims though. I feel like Cam Sims is a number two to me. I like him, but he's not somebody to fill in for Terry. No, he's a number
no, no,
two.
no, not at
Yeah.
all. So,
Yeah, and this wide receiver core, with the absence of Terry McLaurin and the possible absence, in Sunday's game, I just think that this group of wide receivers just have to step up. Isaiah Wright, Dontrell Inman has been activated on the
No,
practice
they
squad.
released him. They released him.
They
yeah,
put him on the
Inman.
practice squad now.
Okay,
Oh,
Yeah, they signed him on the practice squad just yesterday. Yesterday evening actually is when I got the update. I mean, something has to happen. Isaiah Wright has to step up. Robert Foster, we brought you in. Now you're active. You have to step up. These guys just have to step up. Steven Sims, they have to step up. Because Terry McLaurin just might not be there Sunday. And
yeah,
if he won't be there, we need to put the ball in the air. And maybe Heineke can get the ball to these guys, when it matters. You know, um, I think that Antonio Gibson didn't do bad with running the ball. I don't know why we exactly stopped running the ball. He only had nine
because of the
catches for
offensive
60.
coordinator once again.
Yeah, exactly. And he had 9 touches for 64 yards. And he did very well, in the first and second quarter. But then it's just like it was the matter of playing catch up. Once you went down 20-0, now it was just time to start playing catch up. And running the ball just takes the time away. But I just think that, man, you just don't focus on the time. You just keep on with the game plan and keep running the ball. You tire this defense out. It's okay. It's okay to have 12 to 15 play drives. It's okay to do that and tire this defense out and give your defense a chance to rest and come back on the field and dominate as they have been. And I think we can all say that this defense has been very impressive this season. Very impressive. I think he froze. Yeah.
Who, me?
Oh no. I think Jimmy froze.
Oh,
Yeah.
nope, nope. He's back.
There you
He's
go.
back.
sorry, man. Is
There
that
you
how it goes?
go.
No,
No,
you
you're fine.
good.
You're fine. So we just have to see what happens this Sunday, and I guess we'll see. Speaking of this defense, Chase Young. Chase Young, I mean, I don't even have to really say too much about him. He's an animal. He's a beast. Um, he received the captain status, and even when you see the recaps, the recap highlights and the actual, he has a mic'd in session, on the field, and he was talking about Taylor Heineke, and he said that when he went out there to talk to Taylor Heineke was like, this is what I do. And he said on the sideline, he was like, when I went to go talk to Heineke, he said, this is what I do. He said, I like that. I like that. Attacker's mentality. That's what I like to hear. But even in the press conference, of course the media was just asking them back to back about Haskins, and this is why he's the captain. He's for his age, he's very mature. He as an NFL player, he's very mature. We've seen guys his age come in, and he just hit everything right on the head. They asked him about Haskins, and he said, "Look, Haskins did what he did, but at the end of the day, I'm still going to be there for him whether he's on the team or not. That's something that we can't focus on right now. We got to focus on this playoff run that we're on, and we couldn't get the job done today, but we're going to be better this week, and we're going to try to get this win on Sunday. He said, so that's what he's mainly focused on. That's what his guys is focused on, and this is what it's all about. Chase Young is just here to win, and you can see it on the field every week. He's just out here to win. He's out here to to be disruptive on that field. And when he got drafted, you've heard it from me. You said it, champ. You said it that he's going to be very explosive. He's
He
it's
was
just
just
all
considered a bust 4 weeks ago.
yeah by Washington fans.
That's all I'm gonna
And
say.
Jimmy, you can agree when I say this. This Washington fan base can be brutal when it
Oh,
comes
it
to
is, man. Like
it's brutal.
it doesn't take much for the fan base just to kind of throw you under the bus. So I will say though, however, with regards to Chase Young, I mean, when we first drafted him, I questioned it. I mean, obviously we had a lot of other needs, but I mean, when you have an elite caliber player, I mean, you got to take him. I don't care if you've got another guy on your roster that can do the same, which we do. I mean, we've got a great front. Did we absolutely need him? I don't know. But I mean,
No.
we he went in there and he has caused so much trouble in the backfield. I mean, you can tell each and every game he is busting his chops just to get to the quarterback and take him down. I mean, I know he hasn't had a ton of sacks. I think he has like 6 sacks on the year or something like that.
Mhm.
I mean, but it is what it is. I mean, you're working to get to the quarterback. Montez Sweat's working to get to the quarterback, and Kerrigan's trying to get his in too. So I mean, everybody's trying to get theirs in, and Chase Young has just been he's just been dominant, and I'm so
A
thankful.
dog.
I'm so thankful that we drafted him because I mean now we're going into a season where we're likely going to lose Kerrigan, and that's kind of the way that it goes. I mean he's going to I don't think he's going to get re-signed. I mean he might maybe get signed to another team when he hits free agency, but I don't think that we re-sign him because we have Chase Young, and it is what it is, man. We just we ride Chase Young, and we've just got a lot of great leaders on that defense. I mean, he and John Allen, I love those guys. I mean, they're just so great to have on this team. I mean, you're talking about Pro Bowl caliber players and professionals. I mean, I can't stress it enough. I mean, we need it. We need guys that know that this is your job, and that you put forth the work on the field, and then just whatever you do in your own life is your own thing, but just be professional, and that's what Chase Young has been so far.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And it's just like you said. With Kerrigan possibly not might not be here next year. Maybe they can restructure his contract and see if they can he can stay there as a mentor for the young guys. He's done very well. Chase Young has been a very good mentee for with Ryan Kerrigan, and Ryan Kerrigan has been sharing all his knowledge with Chase Young and things like that. But like you said, I doubt that he'll be here too. And just so everybody has forgotten, Matt Ioannidis will be back next year.
That's my boy
So,
right there. I'm waiting on
so,
him.
so
Yeah,
just imagine, that front seven with Matt Ioannidis coming back. It's just going to be scary next year. So,
yeah,
one thing that I can actually be thankful for is that is something that we don't have to look at next year. We don't have to look at bulking up our defensive line because we have those guys. That just gives us some extra room to go other places and other areas on our team. But me personally, I think that with a couple of plugs in with free agency without the secondary, I think that we don't really have to look at drafting defensive players, on the defensive side. I think this coming draft, with just with the few plugins, possibly, if there's some hidden gems on defense, we can sign some guys, but I think we definitely I think we can all agree when we say that, offense is going to be
Oh,
the main
that's the biggest
priority.
need. Definitely
Yeah.
biggest need. I mean, I tell you a guy that I've also been impressed with is Cameron Curl. I mean, I don't think anyone really gave him a chance because I mean, at the start of the season, we had London Fletcher out there, or not, or I'm sorry, what's the guy I'm talking about?
John
London.
Bostic.
No, the safety.
He's talking about Landon
Oh,
Collins.
Landon
Andy
Collins.
Collins. That's the guy that I had the other guy's name in my head.
No worries, brother. I knew
Yeah,
what you was talking
yeah,
about. Go ahead.
yeah. Landon Collins. I mean, we had him, in place at the beginning of the season, and then of course he goes down to injury. And Cameron Curl stepped up, man. And he stepped up big. And I don't know about him. He did a great job. So for doing his thing, because I mean he's gotten a good handful of interceptions, which we obviously need. I mean you got to win the turnover battle. So I'm so glad that he's really done well for us this season.
Yeah, and I definitely agree. I was just about to mention that as well. We've seen a lot of players in the NFL who came undrafted and made a name for themselves. Robbie Anderson being one of them, and with looking at Cameron Curl, seeing his like you said, nobody really gave him a chance. When Landon Collins got injured, even Washington fans were saying, "Oh, we need to go out and get a safety immediately. Let's bring in Eric Reed." And even we tried that. We tried to bring in Eric Reed, and Eric Reed just thought that the vision that Ron Rivera had wasn't his vision for his career. And I think even still to this day, he's still unemployed. But anyway, um, but this with Cam Curl, he stepped up big time. He's improved throughout the season, and he had another interception. He had another interception this in the last game with the tip by none other than Chase Young with the tip off. But Cam Curl, I just can't. I can't say too much about this guy that I get tired about. It's every one thing that me and Brian has been saying this whole season is no matter what people can say about Cam Curl is regardless of the fact that when you see wherever you see the football is, I guarantee
He's there.
you see number 31 there. And that's every game. Anytime you see the ball, number 31 is there trying to make a play. And that's just what you want, with these young guys. We're not asking you to come out and be a Sean Taylor, come out and be a London Fletcher. We just want you to come out and put some effort on the field. And that is exactly what these group of young guys that we have on our defense just do. They come out and they put so much effort into making plays, trying to change things around. Just trying to slow the tempo up, and you can see that on the field, despite them giving up touchdowns when it matters. But this group of young guys is going to go far, in the future if they just keep going at the pace that is at. Ronald Darby, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't have any faith in Ronald Darby when we brought him in. You know it. I didn't have any faith
Nah,
in him,
I agree 100% on you, man. He was
you know,
getting
I,
cooked.
I didn't have no faith in him, but you can see that now. Jack Del Rio has found a place for Ronald Darby and actually put in the personnel to actually help Ronald Darby out, which he's had a pretty decent season as well as Kendall Fuller. So, these guys, these group of guys, I'm looking forward to seeing, in the future, hopefully if nobody gets traded or drafted or injured. But this team behind Chase Young, the captain, everybody respects Chase Young.
Even
Everybody on
around
that
the
team,
league. Even
even
around the
around
league.
even around the league. Robbie Anderson went up to Chase Young after the game and said, "Hey, no, not Robbie Anderson. The linebacker for Carolina. What's his name? I forgot his. Boston, Trey Boston.
Okay.
And what he said to him was, "Hey, you got it. You got it. Don't worry about anything else. These guys follow you. They lead you. You guys just have to. He said your guys just have to do better on defense, and they follow you, bro. They follow you. They lead you. Keep doing what you're doing. You're gonna lead this team. You're gonna lead this team to great heights. All right. So I just wanted to let you know that. And you hear this after every game, when guys walk up to Chase Young. He's just so respected at such a young age, and everybody just wants the best for him. They see that he comes in and he just has that grit, that aggressiveness, just coming off the snap every time. And I think possibly this is only 1 year. There's only 1 year, but I think if you keep going at the pace that we see him now, possible Hall of Famer in the future.
Yeah, I mean, no one really wants to see our defensive front. I don't care what team you have us up against. No one wants to see that defensive front.
Oh yeah,
and I'm telling you, man, like that's the scariest thing to see those four guys up front. I mean, come on now. I mean, you got some guys there that would be Pro Bowlers on any team. I mean,
Yep.
come on now.
yep.
Yeah. So yeah, I just can't wait until we. Hey man, I'm looking forward to winning this game. This
We got
weekend.
no choices. We win, we in. That's it.
Yeah, we got to win.
Go big or go home.
If we don't win, it's going to be a sad day because we need a 7-9 team to get into the playoffs. I mean, to have a 6-10 team possibly win the division, that's just sad.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say, man. Like a 6-10 team shouldn't. I mean, first of all, I mean, I'm sorry, and I don't mean to like rag on this whole issue, but I mean, a 7-9 team probably shouldn't make the playoffs. I mean, that's my opinion. I mean, but hey, winning the division is how y'all got it set up right now, and I'm willing to take it if we can, get there. But a 6-10 team, could possibly win this division. I mean,
And also host the playoff game and win it.
Right.
Yeah. Just
listen. I've been saying it for years. I don't like the idea of a team being 7-9 and being able to make the playoffs. But the structure is that each winning division gets a spot in the playoffs, regardless of the fact. You're just a better team in your division. And it just sucks when you see 3 teams in one division is 11-5 and misses the opportunity to perform in the playoffs because of a team that is 7-9, and one of the best teams in the division is 7-9, in another division that is 7-9, and we've seen it happen, with the NFC South. I think about a year or two ago, where I believe the Saints went 7-9, and they was able to move on to the playoffs. And I mean, listen, I'm against it to an extent, but I think that and we've talked about this before the show, Jimmy, is that I think the Washington football team has played a little bit of better football with the situation and the circumstances that has been given to them as the actual with the COVID, and then Alex Smith, and then Kyle Allen being injured for the season, and then Dwayne Haskins being inconsistent. Just a lot of quarterback issues that we had, and with just the coaching staff and everything just being so new with the team. It was the Washington football team has been
it's been a roller coaster. I get it. It's a huge roller coaster of emotions, man. Like it's we're doing well, we're doing bad. A guy gets injured, a guy goes in, a guy gets signed, a guy gets cut. I mean, it's just wild. I mean, to have that happen. I mean, we're just all along for the ride, man. And it's been a great season. I mean, win or lose, it's been a great season. But I want to win this game. Winning this game is important.
Definitely.
I'm sorry.
Win this game. I want us to win this game. But
I want us to win this game and win and get to the playoffs, man. I want to see the end of the rainbow, man. Like I want to get into the Super Bowl. I mean, no. I mean, is it realistic? Probably not. But I mean, I'm gonna cheer on this
Hey,
team.
But
listen,
everyone has a
listen.
chance once you get a chance. Once you enter that
Yeah,
dance, you know the
At the
slogan. You
Titans,
get a
all
the
chance.
Titans, the Titans has broke the bridge last season, being 7-9. If I'm not mistaken, were they 9-7 or 7-9? I'm not sure,
I
but
think they were
they
not.
were
So that's all
I
right.
think they won more
yeah,
games than that.
they were the underdogs coming into the wild card.
Right.
Nobody expected the Titans to come in and beat the Ravens, which I believe was 11-5 or 13-3.
Oh yeah, they were.
13-3.
Nobody
Yeah,
expected them to beat the Ravens. Nobody expected them to beat the Patriots. And then everybody said that, oh, they can just knock off the Super Bowl champs. And there's some speculations there with the refs but they still played a very hard fought game against the Chiefs. They lost.
that was a Super Bowl in and of itself, man. That was a great game.
Exactly.
So,
But
um,
listen, at the end of the day, this is any given Sunday. And like Ron Rivera said a couple of weeks ago, make no mistake about this. Nobody wants to see this team. Nobody wants to see this team. Just everybody who knows when they play Washington, you're not going to come in and you're going to stump all over us. There's going to be a fight. Sure, you might feel like you have the game, before halftime, but you have to win this game out. You're not just going to take this team 21-3 in halftime and thinking that that's just going to be the score at the end of the game. No. And like you said earlier, this defense does the job. They do the job consistently. And that's just what has to happen against the Eagles. While we're talking about the Washington football team, we're going to talk about this division. We've been talking about this division all season, and we've seen this division be very disappointing. The new odds to winning the division, Washington wins. We advance to the wild card and have a spot in the playoffs. We lose. Dallas wins. Dallas wins the division. Eagles win. Giants. I think if the Eagles win, the Eagles are the division champs. If I'm not mistaken, with their tie. No, they have been knocked out. They
yeah, I
have been
think the
No,
knocked
yeah,
out.
they are
Eagles.
spoilers. They are spoilers.
Right.
Yeah,
Right now,
yeah.
it comes
It's
down
either us.
to the
Either
Redskins
us
and
or the,
Dallas.
yeah.
Right. So this is definitely up to Dallas to actually make this change in this chance. So the way this division has been flip flopping, as the winners
It
for a
wouldn't
while
have
now.
to if we would have handled business a couple weeks ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So the division is definitely up for grabs, and this is the NFC East showdown. Sunday night, 8:20, Washington football team versus the Eagles. It is win big or go home.
Everybody is going to watch that game. I'm telling you that. I'm telling you right now. Everybody and their mother is going to watch that game.
Right.
So what are the keys? What are the keys to this game to get this win, Jimmy?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna just come right out and say it. The quarterback play. I mean, and I know that that's kind of a cliche answer, but I mean, we have a guy now in Heineke that hopefully has the opportunity to come in and deliver. I mean, that's obviously like that's it. I mean, we got everything else in place. I mean, we have a playoff caliber defense. We just need that offense going. I mean, we have a couple people in place there. I mean, Logan Thomas is doing well. I mean, McKissick and Gibson when he's healthy. I mean, they can do a lot of great things. I mean, and Cam Sims is a deep threat. I mean, we can get the ball if we can get the ball to him. I mean, he can make some great plays. I mean, there are a couple playmakers on the team. I mean, people really forget about that, but I mean, we can get as long as guys don't drop passes and that quarterback does a great job. I mean, we have a chance of winning. I mean, I think we have a darn good chance of winning. It's really just a matter of that quarterback and him really just not making mistakes. Don't make don't make mistakes. Complete most of your passes. One thing that not a lot of people give Heineke credit for is that he can actually use his legs. And so if they want to, maybe run that RPO, he can take off. And I'm gonna call it right
Yes, he
now.
can.
Heineke gets at least 50 yards rushing this upcoming game. I'm calling that right now. He gets at
Whoa.
least 50 yards himself rushing.
All right, what's
That
your
I'm just
prediction
I'm
of
just
the
gonna.
score? What's your score? What's your score?
I think it would be a low scoring game. I think it'd be probably like 20-10, and I'm going with us. I mean, I think that we can do it. I mean, again, we just need a quarterback not to make too many mistakes. Get the ball down the field a couple times. I feel like Cam Sims, get him the ball. He can score. I'm praying that McLaurin's going to be healthy. I mean, I know um, maybe not practicing that much right now, but I mean, if he's healthy, he's making plays. Logan Thomas, he's going to make his plays. So, I mean, we're gonna score some points. I just want the players that are not the kicker to score more points. So that's really going to be really the crucial part of the whole game.
Yeah. I agree with everything. My keys for this game is to run the ball. Um, Set the tempo. Don't follow the tempo. Set the tempo. And running the ball with possibly Antonio Gibson running the forefront and J.D. McKissick. And another thing is neutralizing Miles Sanders. That'll be the test. That'll be the test. Neutralizing Miles Sanders. And another thing is you have to contain Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts had his first as his first showcase as looking like a rookie, and you've seen it last week. That just has to happen. Chase Young, Montez Sweat, Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne. You have to get your hands on this kid. Don't allow him to stretch these plays. The linebackers just have to make sure that they don't give Zach Ertz no looks, or Dallas Goddard any looks as well. You just have to play complete football all around. We've seen it done with the Steelers. We need to go back. We need to go back to that defensive play. We need to play complete football. We need to come out and we need to win this game. Wide receivers, they need to catch the ball. They need to catch the balls. It just have to happen. You can't keep letting these opportunities get missed. Logan Thomas, I think he will be the leading receiver at the end of this game. With at least 90 to 110 yards with two touchdowns. Two
Okay.
Yeah,
touchdowns.
I definitely agree with
And
that on Logan Thomas.
this
So
will be
mean,
this will be
yeah,
possibly a high scoring game, with the end of the game being 28-21 Washington.
Man, that's a high scoring game. I'm gonna
right.
I'm gonna I'm gonna do my score is gonna be 23-20. It's gonna come down to the kicker, or either or Dustin Hopkins is gonna bail us out. I see Heineken. He's gonna keep things flowing, like the offense moving. So I see him throwing a touchdown. I also see him throwing an interception, and I also see him rushing one in. So I see him accounting for one touchdown, one passing touchdown, and I see him rushing one in. So I can see us coming out with 23-20. It's going to come down to the kicker.
Yeah, I think Chase Young is going to have a three sack game on Sunday.
I think Montez going to get his.
Yeah.
I think Montez going to get his, or he's gonna cause a batted ball up again.
All right, and Sunday 8:20. I believe it's 7. Is it 7? I know we were flexed. Um, is it 7 or is it 8?
It might be 7:30.
I'm not too sure. I have to double check on that.
Yeah,
So
because this
I
has
think
been
it's
an
7:30.
yeah, this wasn't an official Sunday night game. This was a flex game that was made.
Yeah, because
yeah,
they
Um,
moved the Steelers and somebody else game. I think it was Steelers and Bengals play, and I think they moved it.
okay.
they just realized a lot of people are going to be watching this game, so they had to flex it up. Because I mean, it has playoff implications.
Yep, this
So
is the only game this week that really means something.
Yep.
right, right, yeah.
Yeah. So this game is at 8:20. This game is officially at 8:20. Sunday night. This will be the showdown. The Giants and the Cowboys will be playing earlier that day, so they will have to watch in the hope that Washington loses, so Dallas can be the division leaders. So I mean, I guess we'll see, man. This is pretty much the game of the
Do
week.
or die, man. That's really all it is. Do or die.
Yep, playoff starts Sunday, man. They
Playoff
gotta
starts
they gotta
Sunday
have
at
the
eight
same
twenty.
mentality.
Absolutely.
And while we're talking about that, we're gonna move on to off-season needs. The off-season is right around the corner.
Ooh. Can I start with this
Off-season.
one first, please?
I was just about to
Go for it.
ask Brian,
Go for it, man.
what are the
All right,
needs? What are the needs? Coming into the off-season in a couple of weeks. What are the needs for this team?
middle linebacker, outside backer, and we need a guard, tackle. The safety is going to be a question. I don't know how they're going to handle that due to the Landon Collins, or is they going to run a package? They're going to keep Landon at strong safety, then move Wishacal to full free safety. I don't know how they're going to work on that. But offensive wise, we could use another receiver. I want Allen Robinson so bad, so bad. Um, at quarterback, I know this is going to sound crazy to you. Like I said, you CJ, you know how I personally feel. I would get rid of every last single quarterback on this roster, period, and just bring my own guys in. But I want Marcus Mariota. I want Marcus Mariota and Matt Stafford. I don't want Matt Ryan at all. I'm telling you, if we get our hands on Matt Stafford and they get a couple wide receivers in here, it is curtains. It is curtains. With our defense, it would be curtains. Marcus
So
Mariota is a scrambler, and you know Ron loves scrambling quarterbacks.
hey, Brian, I was going to throw something at you. What about Sam Darnold? I mean, because you figure, the Jets are probably going to end up drafting the guy. What about picking him up in like a trade? You think that's a possibility? You want to take that risk?
He will be cheap, but my thing, well, the Jets are in a way worse situation than what we're in. I would take a stab on him. I don't know if I would trade for him though. If I do trade for him, it would be a very low draft pick. I wouldn't want to give up nothing top tier for him. But
Yeah, I mean,
if they let him go, and if he's a free agent, yeah, I'll take a stab at him. Why not? He's young. He could have potential. Yeah, why not?
yeah. I don't think they will let him go. But I mean, I think a team might have to pay up a little bit. Maybe third or second or third round. Which, like you're saying, I mean, I don't like trading away those top picks. I
Not for
don't.
him. Not for him.
We have needs. I mean, there's a reason why we're sub 500. I mean, we have needs. I mean, I,
Let me
you know,
ask both of you guys one quick question. This is $1 million question, and I heard
uh,
this earlier. If Dallas does not keep Dak Prescott, he's a free agent. Would y'all go all in for him? I'm just curious.
You said, hold on,
no.
say that again.
All right, good answer. My question once again was if Jerry Jones, aka Mr. Burns, if he
Mm.
doesn't if they don't re-sign Dak Prescott and Dak is a free agent, would you consider going all in for him? I'm just curious. What would you do if you was in that situation?
What is the terms as an all in?
Oh,
Well,
Because
that would be
you know he wants 40 plus million a year. I'm
yeah, but
asking you, would you consider doing that with our young team?
that also comes into trading guys like Deron Payne and things like that. Honestly, no. I
It's
think
two
that's a good
smart answers.
time.
That's all I needed to know.
I
Yeah,
just think the price is too high for him. I mean, and he would be coming back from injury, and we don't know if he's going to be 100% at the beginning of the year. I mean, we're still going to need another quarterback. I mean, even if we did go out and got another guy like in free agency, I mean, if we get got a guy like Cam, I mean, we'd still have to get another guy. Maybe later in the draft or something. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would, really roll the dice and try and get, you know, try and bring in Dak. I think that, no,
Oh no, I
I'm
wouldn't
just kind of
either. I was
against
just
that. No
curious.
offense, but
I was just curious.
like I don't want Dak.
yeah.
I don't want Dak, and be quite honest, I wouldn't want Wentz either. Like, I don't want guys coming back from injuries. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't mean to sound like mean, but like, I want fresh legs, man. Like, I want a fresh
Uh huh.
arm. You know, I want some people on this team that are young and hungry.
Yeah, I agree. As you see, one of our
That's what
viewers
I want.
already.
Those are the kind of guys.
Yeah, I definitely
So
agree. I
I
definitely
just
agree.
don't know if I would want Dak.
So here's the question that a viewer
Um,
asked.
yeah. So,
One of the viewers asked is that is Cam a potential?
No.
Um, to be honest, no, I don't. As much as people want to say the relationship between Rivera and Cam Newton, I think that ship has pretty much sailed. I think that me personally, what I would go with is that I'm going to go out on the limb here. Could it be possible that the Bears are done with Mitchell Trubisky? They go out and get a quarterback,
You'll take Mitch
and
Trubisky for us?
in the cheap aspect, yeah. But
Okay, respect, respect,
in the
respect.
cheap aspect, yes. Like you said, you want fresh legs. He has those. He has a streaky tendency of, bad accuracy with his footballs. But I think that can be fixed, as the season goes by.
I'll take
But
Marcus Mariota over him though. That's just me personally.
it's not fresh legs.
He's a playoff quarterback 2 times, and he's still young.
I do like Mariota over
You're
Trubisky.
tripping. You tripping.
I will tell you, Trubisky. I'm hesitant on Trubisky. I mean, Bears were absolutely stupid doing what they did in order to obtain him. I had never seen a dumber trade to trade up in the draft like ever. With the way that the Bears did that business.
I ain't gonna
And
take it from him. He has some games. He has some games under his belt that he was sharp in, but he just super inconsistent. That's just
oh
it.
yeah, definitely. I,
So one of the things that we do need to address is this offensive line. And
yeah,
Jimmy, you've interviewed this guy. I've had the chance to actually sit down and talk to him. Quinn Meinerz. We all know that with him being from a small school, he probably won't be drafted that high. So it's definitely a possibility of having, that guy being a hidden gem, coming into the league, the feel with this offensive line. And to be honest, Quinn Meinerz, he just might have a chance to be drafted here. We need help on offensive line, as you see. Draft draft
yeah. I
guy.
mean, I think Quinn Miners really it's Miners anyway. But the thing is one of the good things that he brings is leadership. I don't know how many guys on at the collegiate level are named MVP being a guard. He was his team MVP and he was a guard. And that's the kind of leadership that we need on that offensive front. I mean, we have the leadership on the defensive line, with really a good handful of guys and some veterans there. We need a good leadership. We need good leadership on that offensive line, and we just don't have it. I mean, I know Morgan Moses tries, but we still need some guys to go in there and deliver. I mean, a guy like Miners probably falls into that maybe sixth or seventh round range. And if I'm mistaken, I think that we're missing one of those rounds. I don't think we have like a 6th round pick. I believe I have to go back and check. But
It's the seventh. It's the seventh for Kyle Allen.
okay. Well, I mean, I know that we're missing a draft pick or a round, anyways. But I mean, Miners is the kind of guy that's more. He is more or less a 7th round pick. But I really enjoy. I really enjoyed actually sitting down and interviewing him. I mean, you're talking about a guy who's very competitive. Um, doesn't stop until the whistle blows. I mean, really just a solid player that, for whatever reason or another, found his way, to Division III. I mean, and I think probably the reason why is he wasn't that, prototypical like 6'5", 6'6" kind of, offensive lineman. I mean, he's a little shorter, but I mean, he's very effective at what he does, and then there are guys his size in the league that are doing business, and getting things done. So guys like him would be great. I, I I do believe though that the Washington football team needs to address O-line early in the draft, very
Thank
early.
you.
If
Yep.
you basic you
So
basically have one or two options, okay? Because I mean you've got first and second round, and in my mind these are the two things that we desperately need in the first and second round: quarterback, offensive line, and we have to make the determination as to which one is more important to us. Is it the offensive line? Because we can get a great offensive lineman in Christian Darrisaw out of Virginia Tech. That's the kind of guy that we can get if we want to go all in first round. I would be 100% sold on that pick. I think that would be great. But unfortunately, we have a fan base and we have really just overall NFL that really is really just pushing this idea to obtain a quarterback in the first round. And part of the reason for doing it that is because you draft a guy in the first round, then you have the option of that 5th year so that you could save some money on that cap. And that's the reason why I feel like they're likely going to end up drafting a quarterback in that first round, whether it be Trey Lance, Kyle Trask, Mac Jones. Some of those guys might be seen as more reaches. I don't think that we would have the opportunity to get Zach Wilson. His hype right now is so great. He's probably going to go top 10. So you figure he, Fields, and Lawrence all gone in the top 5 or 10 picks. And so that would leave us with, all the other guys, and we have to make the decision.
We got to do our homework on all those guys very well, though.
Definitely.
Because think about everybody missed out on Justin Herbert. Everybody missed out on Justin Herbert.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's just because of a couple games. I mean, you really need to sit down with these guys and interview them, get inside their head, see how they think. I mean, are they a team first, kind of player? I mean, are they looking to just, I guess, build up their stats? I mean, is that what they want? Do they want the stats? Do they want the accolades? Or do they want to win ball games? I mean, are they that competitive? I mean, those are the kind of guys that I want. I mean, I want the guys that are able to go out there and deliver. And I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of fans want, Trey Lance, because he's never lost. But the only thing about Trey Lance is he's a one-year guy at an FCS program. So I mean, you need to be all in on that if you're going to be. I mean, he's young, he's talented. It's really just a matter of whether or not you want to invest in that guy.
But is he something you want to waste the first round pick on? I don't think so.
Well, I feel like some team is going to, whether it's us or if it's somebody else. Some team is likely going to take a chance on him. It's really just a matter of, are you going to build your team around him? And I mean, that's not necessarily what I would do. What I would do is I would get that offensive line taken care of. I mean, our offensive line has struggled. We have been struggling. Our whole depth chart, like, it has just been like decimated. We need to get that guy. I personally, if you were to say, here, Jimmy, here are the keys. You're the next GM. I would draft Christian Darrisaw. We need a left tackle, him or Alex, Leatherwood. Like, I don't think that we'll be able to get Leatherwood, but I mean, I do think that we're able to draft, Darrisaw. That's the guy that I would want. I don't know what the team's going to do. We're just going to have to wait and see.
So I do have a few questions for you, Jimmy. And you've been the draft guy. Let me ask this. I know the quarterback is the big priority right now in Washington.
Yeah.
So let's just say, all right, and I'm just spitballing. We go with Alex Leatherwood. We go with Alex Leatherwood in the first round. Okay.
All right.
And in the second round, let's say that we just go defensively and we go out and get Hamson Nasruddin.
That's a little high for him, but okay.
And
I understand where you're going with it, though.
yeah, and then in the third round, here it is, the big picture. Sam Ellinger.
No, hell no. Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now. No. I don't know if you've done your homework on Sam Ellinger. Sam Ellinger is not a third round draft pick. He is not. Right now, he's just not. He's not a third round draft pick. You need to get that out of your head. Sam Ellinger is the kind of guy that you're going to get on the third. If you want to go with Sam Ellinger, I will say that Sam Ellinger is a great leader. He is a great athlete. He can make arm talent is there. I think his decision making, throwing the ball, is just not as good as you'd like from other guys. There are other guys out there that we could potentially target. Kellen Mond comes to mind out of Texas A&M. He would be a guy in that third to fourth round range that I feel like we can target. Heck,
What about
even
Kyle Trask?
Kyle Trask is, the way that he is right now, he's kind of hot cold. He's not very consistent. He'll go out there one game and do great things, but then there are some times where he makes throws that are completely off the mark. So you have a guy whose decision making isn't 100% there. The moxie that you really want from a quarterback, I mean, maybe he doesn't have that. He does come across more or less the same way as like Herbert was. He's a good kid, and I don't mean that in a negative way, but I mean very very quiet, kind of guy. I mean, it really just depends on what kind of a quarterback that you want. Again, he does have some athleticism. He's just, I don't think he's ready. I don't think he's ready to really be a franchise guy. I do think, however, that he could come in, maybe sit for a year, and then a year or so down the line be that guy. But I don't think he's going to be an elite guy, not anytime soon. But I mean, you do have guys. I mean, like some people are shouting for Trey Lance, whose athleticism is great. Everything there is great. The biggest concern is experience and maturity.
Yeah. So what do you think about Brady Christensen from BYU being drafted in the second or third round?
Well, it's a little much for him, I think. I mean, I think Brady Christensen's probably a fourth round pick, in my opinion, maybe late third, fourth round. I do think that he can certainly, come in and play that left tackle position. So it's possible to get him. I mean, we could certainly bring him into the team. I mean, he's done some great things there at BYU. There's a lot of other guys. I mean, personally, I would like to get the left tackle out of Notre Dame and Liam. I can't even pronounce his last name, Eichenberg.
Yeah.
I think that he would be the go-to guy there in the second round. If we flip-flopped it and went quarterback tackle or tackle quarterback, I would probably if he's there, because I mean we're sitting right now at 51. If he's there, I would take him. But if we were to wait a little bit, like third or fourth round, are we truly getting a guy that we could plug in right away? That's the big question that we have to
First
ask.
or second round for offensive lineman right now to start, hands down.
And that's where I'm at with that position, because it is such a big need that if we don't address it, we're going to struggle. Because even going back to this past draft, it took us forever to draft an offensive lineman. And I'm sitting here screaming at the television, damn you guys, you need to get this guy right here. And he just kept falling and falling. And then they end up getting this one guy. And, I was happy that we got Sadiq Charles. I mean, he had a lot going for him, but he hasn't really had the opportunity to showcase his talent this year. So we need to get enough guys so that you have some competition there, so that the cream rises to the top. So that's kind of what we want out of this upcoming draft. I do think that we need more playmakers, though. I don't think it is a huge need because we're going to have Kelvin Harmon back next year, who hasn't really done anything.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of high hopes on him before he got injured. So
But
we're going to have.
That's not Ron's guy though. So
It's
it
not.
depends how you carry it.
You're right, but I mean, we're going to have him back next year, and who knows how he's going to turn out. And because of that, I don't think that we're going to be addressing, the playmaker, need until probably on the third day, and then that's when we're going to get some kind of guy. I don't know. There's a guy. I'm trying to say, what's his name? HOGside out of Memphis. He's really good. I mean, there's a lot of guys that we can get. I do feel like you can never have enough like smaller, speedy slot guys. So we get a guy like that we could bring in, and hey, I mean that'll work for us. I do think that we do need another running back at some point. Whether it's in free agency or maybe late in the draft. I don't think that we address it early because we already have Gibson. Gibson's doing good. He just needs to be healthy. So hopefully we can get somebody at some point
So
to help him out.
let me ask you this one last question, and not even a question, just more of asking you. I want you to think of two top priority guys that you have already, pretty much did your work on, and you think that it is, pretty much is going to be ready to go on this team, offensively and defensively. One guy,
Yeah.
each
So,
side.
so one guy from the draft. You're saying
Yeah,
to draft
one guy from
somebody.
the draft. Correct.
Okay. Of the guys that I've personally interviewed, or just kind of the guys that I've kind of done my homework on, more or less. Is that
Yeah,
what you're?
the guys that you've done your homework on, the guys that you've interviewed, whatever floats your boat.
All right, I'm going to start with one guy that I really, really love, and that's D'Angelo Amos. Is that a name that you even know?
No.
You should. You should really know that name. First of all, he played for James Madison. He was a safety there, and also return kicks. You have a guy who is a leader, who already knows what it means to be a professional because his brother is a professional. He knows what it's like to get to the pros and to put in the work to do so. But you immediately get a guy who can be a leader. He ended up playing at James Madison, for his time there. And obviously, when this whole pandemic happened, he put his name into the transfer portal, and immediately Virginia picked him up. That was an easy thing. And to tell you the truth, he went into Virginia and still balled out and still did a great job. And you figure, when you have a guy from the small school level, doing that jump, you always wonder, was it the competition? Is that the reason why he was good? No. I mean, you're talking about a guy who can do it all, that can make plays, that can come in and play safety for you and return kicks and be on all special team units and really make a solid impact. Is he going to get drafted? He might get drafted. I feel like he could be a 6th or 7th round pick, but if he is not, we need to be on the phone and call that guy immediately. Because I'm telling you one thing. Like I interviewed him and absolutely loved him. He checks every single box for me. The problem is though, when you do get in that small school, in those small school prospects, they don't all check the boxes, and that's just how it goes. Because not all of them have like the height, weight, speed, experience, and up here like all the mental. They don't all have that.
Right.
So, but you do have a guy like that for me personally, in D'Angelo Amos, that's the kind of guy that I want.
Offensively,
Offensively, I'm trying to think now. Man, just so many good defensive players, honestly. I want to say, give me just a second here. Come back to me for just a minute, man. I need to just check. Man, I've got this huge long list of like hundreds and hundreds of players that I have on my spreadsheet here. So give me just a moment.
Yeah, no problem, no problem.
So let's see here. I tell you who would be great for us to get, who's going to end up being at the Senior Bowl, is Austin Watkins. I don't know if you were able to watch any of his games. He was good. He's a little bigger guy though, so I don't know if I'm all in on him because I don't think that that's the kind of player that we need. Give me just a second here. One of the guys that I was actually really big on. Let me see.
Yeah.
The guys that I'm looking for are the guys that are more or less going to be there and available for us on that third day. I would love for
Right.
us to be able to get Kadarius Toney, but I feel like his stock has
I
risen.
know that name.
I feel like his stock has risen so much that he is on the cusp of being a first round draft pick. I mean, there was a time when he was considered to be a third day pick, but there is no way in the world that kid's going to be there third day.
Yep.
If we were to get a guy like him, we would need to spend a second round pick on him. And at least when it comes to our needs, I don't think that we make that call on that position.
Right.
That's the only thing that I would say for him, because when you have a guy who's so explosive, who can be used all around in short game, long game, like he's just the kind of guy that really does everything on the field and can also contribute on special teams. Is that enough for you? Do you want any other guy on my list?
That's fine.
I would love to have Kadarius Toney, but I just don't think that we
No, I actually
stay
know
one of the top
Kadarius
picks on.
Toney. Yeah, I actually know Kadarius Toney. I was able to look at him, look at a couple of his games this season. And I like him. Just you hit it everything. You hit the nail on the coffin with everything. So thank you again for your insight, man. And
Hell
thanks
yeah, he
again.
knows to draft.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely,
I mean,
man. And
if you were to look at my list, man, you would actually be stunned. That's all I can say. I got a lot going on right now because there's so many things happening in college right now. One of the things that's really the biggest that's going on right now is because of this pandemic, you have kids that
It's making it difficult.
they're taking the opportunity to go back to school, to increase their stock maybe for next year, to get healthy, to further their education. And
right,
it's so hard to keep track of, man. We probably have more kids in the transport portal right now than we ever have. I mean, you're talking like 1,000 guys in the transfer portal, which is just an
yeah,
insane number. But it's true. I mean, you have guys that they're trying to find the right spot. I mean, they're trying to move up. I mean, you have guys in the Division II, Division III level that are trying to move up. And you have guys in the Group of Five conferences that are trying to get to like the SECs and stuff. It's just a wild thing to try and keep track of right now. But yeah, it's
yeah,
definitely
man.
something it's a fun thing to do. I'll say.
Well, listen, man. Thank you again. Thank you again for taking the time out and actually sitting with us today.
No
Um,
doubt, man.
how can if listen, guys, if you guys are watching, this is the draft guy, Jimmy. He is on Twitter. Jimmy, please let us know where we can actually find you at, and if anybody else have any questions about draft prospects who are actually who you guys would like for your team.
Cool. You could find me on Twitter at Draft Guy Jimmy. So that's a pretty easy thing to do if you want to find me there. But I also do a lot of work for NFL Draft Diamonds. Part of our goal there at NFL Draft Diamonds is to find that diamond in the rough, is to give the smaller school guy, give the guy that doesn't necessarily have a big voice and is on TV for everybody to watch, like all over the place. To give them a voice and to give them an opportunity so that they can get their story out. And we've already done
That's
hundreds.
cool.
We've already done hundreds of interviews of guys from colleges that you have never heard of. But a lot of those guys, they're they're very hungry, and they really want to get out there and compete. I've talked to guys from all over, from Division 1 level all the way down to Division 3 NAIA schools. There was one guy that I talked to that is an NAIA prospect, that hey man, there are some guys that can get drafted anywhere. So every single scout out there just kind of needs to do their homework, and we try our best to help those scouts along and to interview these people so they can get that they can get their story. And that's
Right.
one of the biggest things that I've been doing, is to reach out to these players, give them the voice, and I will tell you that that whole option is free. We do that for free for students.
Oh,
That is not something that we charge them for. We are trying our best to get their name out so that people will get to know them and give them that
right.
opportunity. So if you're a small schooler, you want to get your name out there, contact NFL Draft Diamonds. They've got almost 100,000 followers on Twitter, and either contact them, or you can contact me. Again, that's more or less something that we do as a service to people that are would-be seniors. Which obviously now the whole idea of senior is weird because of COVID. But we will welcome anyone who is willing to take that step and willing to put themselves out there. We'll talk to you. We'll look at your film. We'll give you an idea of what we think. So hit us up.
And you guys heard from Draft Guy Jimmy. Jimmy, thanks again for your time, and we'll definitely talk more in the future, man. And you have a great night.
All right, man. Thanks.
Oh, happy New Year to you, man.
Yeah,
Oh
and
yeah,
happy
man.
New
Happy
Year,
New
man.
Year. Hopefully we'll be drinking some Heinekens on New Year's Day.
Oh, I'm
So
gonna be drinking
Heineken for Heineken,
tomorrow.
man.
Starting tomorrow afternoon when I get off, I'm gonna be drinking.
all right. Well, I'm saying more so for this weekend, man. Like
Oh
Heineken
heck yeah!
Heineken is where we're going. So, all right,
Right,
later
man.
on, man.
All
All
right,
right. That's it was hey look, man, I told you
that was a
guys
good goddamn show. I
I had a
learned some
special treat
shit.
for you guys. I had
I
a
learned
very
some
special
stuff.
treat for you guys, so we was able to get draft guy Jimmy in here. He's very knowledgeable when it comes to finding these small school prospects. And it was just crazy with the coincidence that Quinn Miners is one of the guys that I was able to interview last week on Gridiron Interviews, and he actually talked to Quinn Miners as well. So that was a great thing. But Champ, I mean, you've seen everything that's been going on. How do you feel like the season has been for the Washington football team?
Man, I'm just feel like I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna give the benefit of the doubt. We're trending in the right direction. The team is building a scheme, especially it starts on the defensive side of the ball. It just once again the offense. Once we get the offense to have a sort of scheme or direction, but I'm confident in seeing how this team is going, man. And I just
Yeah,
hope this ain't one of the seasons. You know how we get the season when we have a good, sort of decent season, we'll get into the playoffs, and then the next year we fall completely off. I don't want. That's the part I don't want. I want to see
right.
more consistency.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree with that.
Oh,
And
words from the fans.
look, guys, I told you guys last week, that we're gonna be there. We're gonna be running a little bit over, the hour mark. Because I said, I had a very special guest for you guys, which was Draft Guy Jimmy, and again, I can't thank him enough for actually taking the time out, from his busy schedule to actually sit here with
I
us
appreciate it.
and talk football. So, thanks again, Jimmy. But this words from the fans. Again, you heard us talk for an hour and a half. We want to hear from you guys a little bit, and let's see what we have here. Actually, we have Jayla. She said, "I have Washington defense headed into my last matchup of championship. Should I keep them there?" Jayla, actually, if you want, you can actually tune in on Sunday at 11:30 Eastern. 10:30 Central, to one of the Pigskin Nuts podcasts, which is the Pigskin Nut Preview, which we give a preview and fantasy advice and analysis on every week to week analysis on different players and things like that. I am more of the defensive guy to actually give advices. So I can actually answer that for you here. But if you do want another option, you can actually tune in on 11:30 on YouTube at or on Facebook at Pigskin Nut. But to answer your question, um
I would.
I would, I would, their defense has been very good, and against Philly, it shouldn't be a bad matchup. So I say definitely go for it. Um, True Chin, he said I wasn't surprised with Haskins being released. Rivera sending a message to change the culture of the organization and having a winning mindset. I agree with
I
that.
can't argue with you on that. I can't argue with Ken on that. That's just facts. That's just straight facts.
And we have Courtney here, and she says that I wonder where was the turn of events for Haskins. Seemed like he started off strong and motivated. I wonder where things went left. I don't know.
I think things
Honestly,
went left when he got that captain on his jersey.
yeah,
He felt like
yeah,
he made it
definitely.
to. He got comfortable.
I agree. I agree. And, I just hope that, he bounces back, next year and he can find somewhere where he can, blossom to the quarterback that Ron Rivera actually, seeing inside of him. So, again, good luck. Best of luck to Haskins. And she says again, there's no question that he's a good player with potential of greatness. Top five pick. What happened? I think, like I said, and I think that we've discussed this a little bit earlier, which is in college. I think he's been relied on, and he actually been he's. It's one of those things where when you are one of the best players on that team, and you are you get a little bit of leeway than what it should be. And I think that was the case in Ohio State for Dwayne Haskins, where I don't think there was enough discipline there, in Ohio State. But that's something that can look at from the outside in. But I can't really say what happened. I think that he just wanted to do what he thought that what was the best for him, and that is so much for the team. True Chin. He said Rivera should have benched Haskins in the second half. We would have won if the backup quarterback started the second half. And I agree with that. Yeah, I don't have any things to say, against that. Um Drukin, what you guys think about Cam Newton coming to Washington under Rivera?
I don't want him here.
Yeah. Keep him where he at. Keep him where he's at. I think
No,
that
no disrespect to him. I don't know if it's either because New England don't have really nothing, but for your quarterback to have 12 rushing touchdowns and only throw six passing touchdowns or something, it's kind of a problem.
Honestly, I think that the decision for him to go to New England was a bad one. And I think that anywhere else that he goes, I think he'll be much better than what he is in New England right now. It's just not in Washington.
I'm surprised he even won 6 games with that talent on that roster.
And draft guy Jimmy just texted me. He said Cam Newton does not have the same confidence as he did before, and I agree. I think that confidence is definitely has left Cam in a sense, and I don't think that the same confidence is there anymore. Um, Courtney again. She said something has happened with Haskins behind the scenes because there's no reason why Washington as well as Haskins could have made that work. Um, I think that's just Rivera just trying to, help him out in the sense of, trying to see where he can change in a sense. But sometimes it's just that saying goes that you're only as good as you want to be.
You gotta think about the Haskins situation, though. Like he was doing a whole bunch of, like I said, he was just he didn't take the job serious. And it's like, I never seen a dude who get drafted in the first round a year before and then gets cut and released from the team the next year. I had never, even Jamarcus Russell played longer than that.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
So that tells you
Um,
something is super wrong. The kid's head is not into football. I'm
yeah.
at the point I'm done talking about Haskins. It's just time to move on.
Yeah, I
It
think
is what
now.
it is.
Yeah, I think now is the time to move on. Haskins has been released. We got bigger fish to fry right now, and that is this
Yep.
possible playoff run. And a lot of people saying, "Oh, regardless of who makes the playoff, they're going to lose anyway." I don't want to think that way. I don't want to think that way anymore. I'm looking at it as whoever we do play in the playoffs, just make note that this won't be easy. Yeah, and you just have to come against Chase Young. That's just how I feel. At this point, I don't think it's going to be an automatic loss. I know the division isn't the best of what we thought it was, but nobody's seen Washington to make such a stand as to where they are right now. Nobody expected Washington to actually have a playoff run. Nobody. And nobody can tell me that they have. Not even me as a fan. I didn't even think remotely that
No
Washington
one
would
but.
have.
I mean, dog, this team
Like
got too many loopholes.
for
I
this
mean, it
team,
is what it is. Let's try to get in and go from there.
yeah, for this team to rebuild so much, and for this team to rebuild so much from the front office to the locker room, and to be able to even possibly pull off a playoff berth, it's just amazing. It's amazing, and it's a milestone for Ron Rivera, for him coming in such a crazy tornado of issues from the front office to players, and with this COVID thing, and him having cancer. It's a milestone, and I'm just glad to see the Washington is actually like in this position. So um I, I'll be watching the game with no interruptions on Sunday. I'm pretty sure you as well. Um, what is your, before we go? I'm gonna ask you, what is your to go meal? Your go to
Hold on,
meal.
say that again.
What is your go to meal for
What? Go
Sunday?
to meal during the game?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm always pizza and wings guy, or I got a sub or something. I ain't gonna
I
lie to
think
you,
I,
bro.
th- I think I'm gonna have my wings as well on Sunday. So
I probably get me a big old sub, yeah, and chill.
Jimmy said hot wings.
Huh?
But Jimmy said hot wings.
Oh, you can never go wrong with hot wings either.
Yeah, definitely. So
I'm
guys,
about to go
it's
eat
been
now, so I'm ready to wrap this up so I go downstairs and eat.
right, exactly. So guys, it's been great. Next week will be our season finale. It will be the end of the HOGside. We will have special episodes if we do make the playoffs. We will have a special episode for the playoff game, but this is the season finale. It's been great. It'll be 16 episodes. There's this is a great, it was a great run for the first year of the Hog Side, and I thank you guys. I thank you guys for tuning in every week and interacting with us. And we will have another special guest. I got a treat for you guys. I know I had a treat for you guys this episode, and in the season finale is going to be big. I have about two or three special guests coming on next week. It'll be another extended show. And you guys have a great night. Happy New Year. You guys be
Happy New
safe.
Year.
You guys be safe, and you guys have a good night. This is the Hog Side. I'm your host, CJ the Hog, and this is DMV the Champ Brian. Jimmy, thanks again.
Thank you,
And
Jim.
you guys have a good night.